1, 2, 3, 4. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, then I'll watch them roll away again. Hey, sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. And sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. Well, I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones, still this loneliness won't leave me alone. 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Yeah, sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today, I'm very excited to share with you another beginner-friendly guitar song, an Otis Redding's 1968 classic, Sittin' on a Dock of the Bay. Now this tutorial goes out to Neil and Jackie who requested it, thanks so much. If you, the viewers, have a tune that you would like for me to teach next, definitely click through the link in the description and put in your request right now. Before we get to our lesson, I have a quick announcement. For those of you in the San Francisco area, I'll be stopping into town and teaching lessons at the Haight-Ashbury Music Center. So if you would like to schedule a lesson with me, please do so as fast as possible. You can reach out to me at rob@swiftlessons.com. Now, let's get started. Okay, close look at the fretboard, and we're getting started learning the chords that we're going to be needing for our intro and verse section, which are played exactly the same. Now the chord we're going to be starting with is a G major chord, which can be played in two different positions. The way I play my G chord, I have my third finger on the third fret of the low E string, that's arched up, so that way I can get my middle finger here on the second fret of the A string. I also have my pinky here on the third fret high E string. I call this one Useful G because it has lots of different variations to it. Now the other way of playing your G chord sounds like this. I call this one Pretty G because it's slightly more robust. My middle finger on the third fret low E string, again arched up, my first finger on the second fret A string, and then now I have two notes fretted. The third fret B with the ring finger, and the third fret high E string with the pinky. Either one of these variations will sound fine. Okay, the next chord we will be needing is a B dominant 7 chord. Very funky sound. My middle finger is on the second fret of the A string, arched up. My first finger here on the first fret of the D string. And my third finger is down here on the G string second fret. And my pinky here on the second fret high E string, so a 4-finger chord. B dominant 7. Next we're going to need a C major chord. Okay, this is a standard C chord with my third finger on the third fret A string, middle finger, second fret D string, and my first finger here on the first fret of the B string. So I have 3, 2, 0, 1, 0 on the high E string for a C major chord. And then finally, one more chord, an A major chord with our fingers stacked up. Okay, so here I have the open A string, the second fret of the D string with my middle finger, the second fret of the G string with my ring, and my pinky here on the second fret B string, open E string. So that's 0, 2, 2, 2, 0. A major. Okay, so beginner level students can perform this tune in a very simple manner. Just strumming. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then the A chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 4 beats on all of those chords. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes. So because this is such a strong composition, you can play it in a very basic manner and it's still going to sound great. Still, there are some techniques that we can add in that will give it a more danceable feel. Here's a quick demonstration. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's how we're going to play it. We're going to mix in some bass and treble separation and also some bass lines. So we have the G major chord we're going to be playing. Okay, so that was just root, the low E string, down, down, up. Root, down, down, up. Then we're going to do a walk to our B7 chord. It's going to sound like this. Alright, so there I'm playing 3 on the low E string. It's kind of going back to the root. Open A string, 1st fret A string, and then up to the B note, 2nd fret A string with the middle finger. Alright, so my finger choices there were very important. 3rd finger, open string, 1st finger, 2nd finger. So far we have. Then we're going to get to the B7 chord, strum it once. Hit the bass note twice like I just did, and then strum again. You can throw in another upstroke. When you put that into this mix, we have root, down, down, up, 3, 0, 1, 2, down, down, up, bass, bass, down, down, up. So that's generally what we're doing over the B chord, is bass, down, down, up, bass, bass, down, down, up. Something along those lines. There's lots of wiggle room. Okay, next, the C major chord. Bass, down, down, up. Then we need to walk to an A chord. 3, 2, 1, A. Okay, so there I just played A string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, and then the open A string as I put together my A major chord shape. And I went back to that pattern that I played over top of the B7 and C chord. Bass, down, down, up, bass, bass, down, down, up. Now that pattern is very useful. You can use it throughout the whole tune. If you wanted to omit the bass lines. So consider that to be the next level up. For more advanced players, try to get those bass lines in, practice them over and over again until they're muscle memory, then you'll be able to sing and perform them at once. Okay, so let's put everything together now. The full Monty, we have the G major chord, bass, down, down, up, 3, 0, 1, 2, down, down, up, bass, bass, down, down, up, C chord, bass, down, down, up, 3, 2, 1, A, down, down, up, bass, bass, down, down, up. Okay, so here's how all that is going to sound when you add in the vocal line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes. Okay, congrats to everyone who's made it this far. We're ready to move into the chorus. If you haven't done so already, you have a song in mind that you'd like for me to teach next, definitely click through the link right now and put in your request. Okay, getting into our chorus, we have the G major chord. We're also going to need an E major chord. Okay, we haven't done this one yet, so for the beginners out there, I'll break it down for you. We have the middle finger on the 2nd fret A string, 3rd finger beneath that 2nd fret D string, and my 1st finger here on the 1st fret of the G string. strumming every string from low E to high E. We're going to be going back and forth between those two chords for the first part of our chorus. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Back to the G chord. Sitting on a dock of the, an A chord, bay, wasting G. Then an E major chord, finishes up our chorus. Okay, now that you understand the chorus chord progression, let's give it that same danceable strumming pattern that we had for our verse. The G major chord will get bass, down, down, up, bass, bass, down, down, up, to the E major chord, bass, down, down, up, bass, bass, down, down, up. Sometimes I just go right into the bass, bass. Alright, now we're ready for our G-A change, G major. The A major chord, make sure you change your root to the A string. Now a G-E change one more time with the same pattern. Bass, down, down, up, bass, bass, down, down, up, E chord, bass, down, down, up, bass, bass, down, down, up. Okay, just one more section before we're ready to perform. The bridge section. The chords we're going to be needing: a G major chord, a D major chord. This is another new one. I have my peace sign to the triangle set up. This means that my first finger is on the 2nd fret G, and my middle finger is on the 2nd fret high E string. My third finger is in between on the 3rd fret of the B string. It's a very common open position chord, one that most guitar players, beginner guitar players, know. Okay, so we have the D major chord. We're also going to need a C major chord. With those three chords, we'll sing, looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do. Just that part right there, okay? Alright, the next chord that we're gonna be needing, an F major chord. Now, the beginners don't have to worry. I'll give you two different versions for this. A advanced version and also a very beginner-friendly version. Okay, so for the more advanced players, bar the 1st fret, make sure your thumb is nice and low. That's the secret behind bar chords. Your finger's right up against the fret. Middle finger, 2nd fret G. 3rd finger and pinky on the 3rd fret of the A and D strings. F major chord. Now for the beginners out there, take your first finger and put it just here on the 1st fret of the B string. Put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Put your ring finger up here on the 3rd fret of the A string. And put your pinky underneath that on the 3rd fret of the D string. Let your first finger either bar across the high E string or block the high E string. Strumming from the A string down or just blocking the E string with your thumb. For a very nice kind of John Frusciante version of an F chord. Okay, so that's still going to require practice. So beginners out there, don't be afraid of these F chords. If you can put a little bit of time in there, some players can get it after a few days of practice. Other players really need to work on their thumb positioning and their wrist positioning. Okay, and it takes a little while longer, maybe a couple weeks before an F chord starts to sound the way you want it to. Now there is another version of the F chord. We can take our, let's start with our 3rd finger. 3rd fret of the D string, middle finger, 2nd fret G string. Now, my first finger, just here on the B string and the high E string, barring, like this. You gotta be careful with the pick though if you're gonna have open strings. Again, you can block the high E string. Okay? Remember, if you're a beginner guitar player, you're just trying to get these to sound pretty good. It doesn't have to sound super robust. There's always room to grow. Okay, just get a piece of an F chord so that way it sounds well enough that it backs up your vocal. Okay, now the ultimate goal though, however, is to flatten the first finger over 2 strings, E and B, for an F major chord. Okay, so far we had the G chord. Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do. That's where the F chord comes in. So I guess I remain the same. We end there on the D major chord. Okay, so our sequence overall: G, D, C, G, D, C, G, D, C, F, D. Okay, now that you understand the chord progression for the bridge, we can give it a little bit of rhythm. We have the G major chord. I like to strum down, 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 up. Same thing on the D chord, down, 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 up. Then on the C chord, I go back to that same danceable rhythm that we had in our verse. Bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, bass, down, down, up. Just like that. When we get to the F major chord, bar it up and strum. Down, 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 down. But I'm staccatoing each of those strums, squeezing only when I want the sound to ring through. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Okay, that can be done with our different variations of the F chord. Again, it's all about blocking, controlling the sound. Then we go to the D chord, we do the same thing. I like to give it a little bit of a ring out there at the end. Strum, 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 and let it ring. Okay, so if you have your verse/intro, also your chorus and your bridge down, congratulations everyone, you're ready to perform. Alright everyone, thanks so much for checking out this lesson on Otis Redding's Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to Neil and Jackie for putting in the request. Now for the beginners out there that are still building a solid foundation, definitely check out the link in the description. I have put in the link to my ebook, The Fast Track Guitar Blueprint. This is an opportunity to get some of the basic techniques down and also pick up some lingo and learn another great beginner-friendly tune. I got plenty more videos coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia saying happy picking.